Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them. I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the Marvel fan site that I have plot synopsis and character bios for this issue. The New Mutants, number 5 from 1983. I have a playlist. Um, I have an X-Men playlist, New Mutants playlist. I have an X Universe playlist where everything's going in reading order. So here we have this great cover here. We have Mirage, who I believe hadn't changed her name to Mirage by then. I think she was Psyche. We have the Silver Samurai here, and of course, we've got the Viper. This takes place after the Brood have returned to Earth, and I absolutely love this cover here. So, with Viper here, kind of like, yeah. All right. So, we start out with Professor Xavier having some pain here, and he's falling. Just you can see the scream here, the as he's falling down here. He's got a picture of Jean Grey here. So, um, Lilandra comes in and says, "Charles, what happened? Are you all right?" He says, "I tried to walk. I should have known better." Now, if you've only been following the New Mutants, this takes place after the X-Men have come back from the Brood and Charles got his new body. He should be able to walk, but he is not because of some kind of psychic pain, some psychosomatic pain that he's going through. So, and he says here, "I don't understand. I'm a telepath. My awareness of my own mind is near absolute, yet I'm still crippled by a phantom psychosomatic pain," he says. And Lilandra says, "I agree, it makes no sense. By rights, you should be fully recovered, unless the problem is physical. Somehow we overlooked something." I love the part of him holding her hand. By the way, I didn't say the credits. Let me go back here. Chris Claremont is the writer. Sal Buscema is the penciler with Bob McLeod doing the inking here. So Orzechowski deserves an award for having to letter not just New Mutants but X-Men with all the words that Chris Claremont puts in there. Louise Simonson, still Jones at this time. She had married Walt Simonson at this time, and Jim Shooter is still editor in chief for a few more years here. So, um, and so we go back here, and Xavier says, "Lilandra, the attack, it shattered my mind link with the New Mutants. I can't hear their thoughts." And she says, "Rest, my heart. Your powers will return soon enough. There's no need to worry. I think they can survive a few hours without you watching over them. I suppose it just, I hate feeling so helpless," he says. "They're in good hands, Charles. Stevie Hunter's with them. It is you I'm concerned about." So the kids are in a some kind of carnival. It says here it costs $1 and the proceeds go to charity. So we've got here Sunspot, Cannonball, and Psyche. We've got Stevie Hunter here. We've got Wolfsbane, and we have Karma here. So um they're getting a well-deserved time off after everything that's happening to them. You're cotton candy and eating is a hot dog or a Twinkie or a corn dog, popcorn here. Rain's having some ice cream, and Shen with this teddy bear. You can see here doing all the stuff that's carnival stuff here. Um, and he keeps getting bulls at this guy. "Hey kid, why don't you take a hike? Let someone else try." So they're gonna go on this little airplane ride, and she asks, "Who's gonna join me?" And he says, "Not." And Rain says, "Not me, Roberto." Um, and Stevie's like, "I'll pass." And so Roberto's going. He says, "My father has planes much bigger than this, Danny. Jets too, but nothing anywhere near as much fun to fly." And Danny says, Roberto, I'm beginning to regret this. And he says, what makes you say that? And she's like, is the pilot going to do that again? Who knows? He may do something worse. And you can see him just smiling. So, and then here we have a kind of a series that Marvel was running at this time, Team America. And we got a couple of their members here. We've got Cowboy El Lobo and this guy. Are you ready? That is his name here. So, and Roberto's gonna go and get an autograph from them here, and you can see my sister's a great fan of them. I'm gonna get a, and so he asked if he wants an autograph from them too, and he says, "Yep." And then this guy here, Lobo, is like, "Go away, boy. I have no time or patience for such foolishness when there's work to be done." And he's like, "Perhaps later, perhaps not." So, and everyone's just kind of staring like, "Why is he such a grouch here?" And so, this guy says, "I'm real glad you fellas answered my call." And then there's a couple of them, three that didn't make it. He says it'll give one heck of a boost to his cycle school. And Lobo says, "You are a friend, cowboy." And Lobo stands with his friends. And he says, "Me too. Man, it feels great to wear our team colors again, even if it's only for today." And Lobo says, "What counts is how well you ride, not how pretty you look. And I'm a match for you any day, mister." He says, "Prove it." So, little kind of friendly competition between the members. And so Wolfsbane here says she doesn't like that guy, and Bobby agrees. And Stevie Hunter says, "Come on, kids, let's grab some seats in the grandstand. The show's about to start." And so they're being watched here, and you see here half the team. I'd hoped for more, but we must make do with what we have. Notify all units, Kenuchio. The mission proceeds as planned, and remind them in no uncertain terms, I want our targets alive. Now, of course, we saw the cover, and was one of the things you show them in the cover, but you don't show them here as to try to keep it mysterious, which I totally understand. But then why put them in the cover? So we do know who this is here. If you paid attention to the cover as a Viper. And so here comes Team America doing their stunts. Everyone's kind of excited watching them do their tricks here. And so here they go. But suddenly we get a big explosion here. And so Team America is down. And you can see these are moving here. Squad 2, cover the grandstand. The rest of you, move in on Team America. Anyone gives us trouble, gun them down. So we thought they were after the New Mutants, but they were actually after Team America when they said, it's only half of them here. And Stevie says, "Something's wrong. Professor Xavier isn't answering my mind call. We're on our own. The crowd's panicking. I don't know what to do," says Stevie. And Cannonball says, "I don't know about the rest of you all, but no way is Sam Guthrie going to stand by and let three guys get stomped by a bunch of goons. Not when he has the power to stop them." And Karma says, "Sam, we cannot. We dare not. We're not in uniform. Suppose we are recognized." And Cannonball says, "Everybody's heading for the exit, Shan. In all this smoke and confusion, no one will notice anything here." So off he goes. I love this. This is a great panel here. And boom, he knocks them down here. So, and this guy's like, "Hey, did you see that?" And of course, they take advantage of that distraction. You can see the team kind of running over them. Another great panel. Sal Buscema is a good one here. You can see Karma kind of taking over this guy, making him shoot his other two here. And Stevie here says, "Shan, look out, they're shooting this way." And sudden you see this scram as she kind of gets her out. That was a missile. It's like we're in a war. I'm a dancer, a teacher, not a superhero. This isn't my style at all. And Karma says, nor mine. And here, great transformation of Rain into Wolf's Bane here. Bam. As we can see here, Team America is still running over them. We can see Cannonball here. I'm sorry. Sunspot here. Doing the stuff. Sal Buscema is a great um, composer of the action. He really knows how to set up a scene here. Um, he has a huge long run on the Spectacular Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, and I am covering his and Walter Simonson's Thor run, covering actually Simonson's Thor run, and Buscema took over as artist there. So I do have a playlist. Feel free to check that out. And so again, we have our two mysterious figures all blacked out that we can't see. But again, if you're gonna do this, don't put them on the cover. So otherwise, it ruins the element of a surprise here. And she says, so much for best laid plans. Our attack on Team America was intended to flush out their mysterious guardian angel, the Dark Rider. Not this gang of superpowered children. Defeat at their hands is unacceptable, Harada. Take whatever steps are required to prevent it. And you can see Stevie helping Karma out. I'm scared, but that is nothing new. Stevie, behind us, you can see the shadow of the Silver Samurai behind her. And there he is, and he introduces himself. I am the Silver Samurai. Stand aside, and you will not be harmed. And Karma's going to try to take over, but he is a match, more than a match for her, and quickly dispatches her. Now, he uses his sword, but the sword is sheathed in that whatever, so he doesn't actually cut her. And Cannonball's like, if she's hurt, Buster, I'll take it out of your hide. But it does not work, and even in with his power, the Silver Samurai quickly dispatches Cannonball. And so Lobo grabs this gun thing and says, free, Samurai, or I will fire. But the Samurai throws one of the ninja stars and obliterates the gun, which explodes here. Almost, they let you know, killing him here. And so, seemingly out of nowhere, here comes the Dark Rider, who, by the way, was, I guess, right there, ready to go. And so here he comes against the Silver Samurai here. Oopsie. And Samurai takes a hit, and you can see breaks his bike. But he still lands using the back, keeps his balance. Samurai throws more stars, hitting the bike, completely destroying it. So, incredible. The rider still lives. I did not think anyone could survive such an impact. By all the gods, a girl. So we have Danny here, Psyche, who was the Dark Rider. So, well, at least I think that's her, unless it's somebody that looks like her. So, more of those accursed children, says the Viper. I'm sorry, the Silver Samurai. I would dearly love to remain and teach them proper respect, but I am Viper's man, sworn to obey her in all things. And Sunspot says, Danny, he's got Danny. So I own the issues here, but I haven't read them in forever. And I mean, I probably haven't read these stories in over 30 years. So as I'm reading them, they're sort of new to me because it's been a long time. So I created this channel just so I could read these comics kind of with other people and just give my thoughts as I go through them. So, and you can see that the samurai is sort of disappearing there. And one of the things that I love is that they're using zipitones and duotones here to create that disappearing thing here. So there's a couple. If you need to want to know what zipitones and duotones, just look that up on YouTube. It'll give you lots of stuff that'll show you. So, all right, and so you can see Cannonball kind of getting out here and says, "Man, until I get good at maneuvering, my powers ain't gonna be worth spit to anybody. Why is it taking so darn long? Why is it so hard?" From the looks of the grandstand, I'm lucky I can't be hurt when I'm blasting. And then he sees here and says, "Shan, Stevie, is she hurt?" And Stevie, you can see her crying here. "I can't tell, Sam. She may be concussed. Sam, I can see Roberto and Rain, but what about Danny? Where is she?" And Cannonball is like, I don't know. So Chris Claremont is trying to let us know. He, of course, speaks with a southern accent, so that's why he says instead of I. So elsewhere later, Psyche asks much of the same question. "I remember Team America being attacked, but after that, zip, till I woke up in this weird outfit." And she goes, "Ow, lights, they're so bright, they hurt. But at least I can see what I'm doing. A motorbike. Curiouser and curiouser. What comes next? A white rabbit in gang colors? That sound. Oh no," she says. "This is a test, child. If you do not escape, you will be killed. Your soul means to do is your soul means to do so is that bike. Good luck here." So, thanks a lot, lady. I've never ridden one of these beasts before in my life. So many controls. Which one starts the engine? And after that, how do I shift gears? Where's the accelerator? The wheels are almost on top of me. And she gets out of the way, and the bike is absolutely destroyed. So, if the bike was my only means out, she kind of lands there. "I think I'm in a lot of trouble. It's too close, coming in too fast. I cannot dodge. Grandfather." And then she goes, "Huh? It stopped. They all stopped. I don't get it. I failed the test. Why aren't I dead?" "Arise, girl. Follow me," says the Silver Samurai. "Does he know I'm a mutant? He's big, but I'll I'll bet I can outrun him, especially if I use my spirit forms to give me a head start. I won't make I won't make my move yet. It's too soon. I don't know anything about this place, how to get out, where it is, how many other goons there are. Even though it's hard for me, I've got to be patient." And Silver Samurai says, "The prisoner, Viper. Have you a name, little one?" She says, "Danielle Moonstar." "You're a fascinating child, Danielle. Your ignorance of motorcycle seems total," she says. "Yet at the fairgrounds you handled one like an expert." And she says, "That's crazy." And Viper says, "Nevertheless, it is true. What, pray tell, is your connection to with Team America?" And she says, "I don't have any." "Then how do you explain your appearance as the Dark Rider?" And then he says, "Who? Is that why you kidnapped me? Look, lady, whatever happened at the fair, I don't remember." And she says, "I'm getting too angry. My concentration is slipping." I like how they put the connection to the thought balloons. They did it blue like in her hair. So I can't stop myself. I'm pulling spirit forms from Viper's minds, and says here, of course, lets us know of her power to create three-dimensional holographic images. And Viper, kind of covering her eyes, smacks her and says, "Witch!" And man, again, Sal Buscema and his brother John Buscema are absolute masters of their craft. And Viper pulls out the gun here and says, "You'll pay for that, Danielle, in kind and in full measure, and eventually with your life," says Viper. So we're now at Xavier's, at the mansion / school, And Professor says, I cannot reestablish a Psilink with Danny, even with the assistance of my psionic amplifier Cerebro. That indicates she is very far away or heavily shielded from uh, my my probes, or both. And Lilandra, of course, how helpful. She could be dead, Charles. And he says, no, I'd have sensed that trauma no matter what. And look at Shan just sitting down, just looking, just so concerned, and Stevie trying to help her and or console her. And Bobby's like, I hate this waiting. I want to do something. And one of Team America, so do we all, Roberto. Stay loose, son. You'll get your chance. And oh, that's not Team America. That's Colonel Rossi here. I appreciate these files you've provided, Colonel Rossi. They're providing an immeasurable help. You may not say so when you've heard me out, he says. So we've got the Silver Samurai, of course. Um, and so, because we have never covered them before, I'll go ahead and read this. From the kid's description, they fought Kenucho Harada, the Silver Samurai. He's Viper's right hand man. His antecedents are unknown. A master of the martial arts, his primary weapon is an energy sword. Viper, formerly Madame Hydra, the first woman ever to achieve that position. She's as deadly as her namesake, brilliant and ruthless, possessed of an uncanny knack for survival. She was reportedly blown up in Hartsdale, Illinois a few weeks back. That was in Captain America 283. I do have a Captain America playlist, but I did not cover that issue. Finally, the Dark Rider. Whenever Team America is in serious trouble, he appears. Only when needed and only for as long as needed. He's a champion rider, electronics expert, a thief. You name it, he does it supremely well. And Professor X says Danny is none of those things, yet Roberto saw her in the rider's costume. And Cannonball says, why would she pretend to be this guy, Professor? Perhaps, Sam, she had no choice. And Colonel Rossi says, an idea, Professor? A long shot, Colonel, but worth the investigation. The question is not merely how Danny came to play this role, but how she suddenly came to exhibit skills and abilities she does not possess. And he gets Cerebro. Look at how big it is. Perhaps Cerebro can give us the answer, says the professor. And so Sam is impressed here. He's like, wow. And Stevie Hunter, though, has reservations. She knows, I know Xavier's a good man, but at times like this, I feel like I'm staring at a demon from Fantasia's Night on Bald Mountain. How can anyone wield so much power and not be corrupted? And Bobby's like, look, he's found something. So Xavier says, of course, that has to be the solution. It's so obvious. I should have thought of it immediately. And so we're in Washington, D.C., and it says here, rise and shine, Mr. McDonald. Looking for this? I took the liberty of removing this from beneath your pillow to avoid any unpleasantness, meaning the gun here. I am Viper. I wish to make you an offer, my friend, one you cannot refuse. So, and she continues here. You're together, Team America. Break into an impregnable fortress hidden deep within Mexico's Sierra Madre Mountains and steal a certain object. He says, why should I? Because if you refuse me, a young woman, a guest of mine, and I believe yours. Oh, sorry. And I believe a fan of yours will meet an most untimely death. And he says, you're bluffing, Viper. I'm sorry you feel that way, Mr. McDonald. I'm sure Danielle will be too. Good night. Wait. Why Team America? Why not use your own operatives? And Viper says, why should I when I can get you to do it for me? I want proof the girl exists, that she's alive. No, my word will have to suffice. For all you know, I may be bluffing. You'll just have to take that risk. All right, I agree, but I can't speak for the others. And Viper says, not good enough. Your combined skills give you at least a chance of success. Anything less is suicide for you, a certain death for that girl. I've summoned your teammates. You'll have till dawn to make your decision, and 24 hours after that to complete your mission. Farewell, Honcho. I'll be in touch. So, here, then, we have the team all gathered. So, Team America was canceled because of low sales. So, I believe this was Marvel's at least attempt to get people to be interested in picking them up here. So, Wolf, you were closest to the samurai. When the Dark Rider was captured, could it have been a girl? And Wolf says, I was stunned, amigo. I did not see, and in truth, I do not care. This Viper plays you for a fool. She has no hostage. And Hancha says, can we afford to take that risk? And I forgot her name. I am sorry. Wolf, it's an innocent girl's life. Do you want her blood on your hands? And Hancho says, it ain't that simple, Georgina. There, that's her name. Suppose we do as Viper says. What guarantee do we have that after the mission she'll let the girl go? And so there's a knock on the door. And guys, we got company. Wolf, the lights. It could be Viper. Okay, ready. Open it. And here is Xavier in his wheelchair. There's no need for firearms, Mr. McDonald. My name is Charles Xavier. I am here to help you. So, now, normally these blankets are needed for circulation, but because his legs are working, circulation should be well. So, I think they just, it happens. So, and so Xavier says, these are my students, and your guests are, I assume, Team America. And Wolf says, the kids from the fair. Just what we need. Get rid of them, hombre. We got work to do. And Bobby was like, you care to start with me, Senor Wolf? And Professor X says, Roberto, control yourself. Do that, boy, before I take you over my knee. And Hans is like, cool it, Wolf. You're acting no better than the kid. Xavier, a scientist and teacher. A guy is probably the world's top expert on mutants. And Professor X, precisely, Mr. McDonald's. People born with an extraordinary power. I am one, as are my students, as are you. Team America is a projecting gestalt. In moments of extreme danger, any one of you can project the combined abilities of the team onto another, thereby creating the entity known as the Dark Rider. Okay, so that's why he appeared out of nowhere. Again, I haven't read this in forever. It is a form of possessions wherein the host's consciousness is submerged beneath your group's persona, such as happened today to Daniel Moonstar. And Wolf says, we can handle ourselves, gringo. We sure don't need any help from your nursery school. And here is Roberto kind of uses his power. Our friend may die because of you, pig. Do you not even care? And here's Xavier. You are responsible for Danny's predicament, gentlemen. You have powers you do not understand and cannot control. You are a threat to everyone around you. You must learn, and quickly, how to cope with who and what you are. It will be my job to teach you. It sounds like you're not giving us a choice. And Xavier says, correct, Mr. McDonald. So... And Georgina says, you're not being very fair, mister. What was done to Danny wasn't very fair either, Mrs. Webb, says the professor. I intend making certain it happens to no one else. Powers such as yours and mine carry with them the responsibility to use them properly. Otherwise, we become worse than Viper. And Xavier continues here. For what she then does by choice, we do because we cannot be bothered, because we do not care. Is that what you want? And Wolf looks at Bobby here. We ain't done, Shorty. You owe me for that cheap shot. And Sunspot's like, name the time and place, Yankee. So, Ancho, if we're talking business, what do we need with Los Niños here? Why don't we take a hike till we're done? Considering the evident friction between you and Roberto Wolf, that may be a good idea. So, and Cannonball says, I don't get it. Danny's our pal. his students, but Xavier acted more worried about those Team America bozos. And Karma says he cannot be in two places at once. He can. How can he aid them? How can he aid them in their mission and rescue Danny? And Bobby says Wolf was my favorite, my hero. I wanted to be like him when I grew up. I was a fool. And Xavier comes through projecting his psychic astral projection, and I like it. It's all done in color holds. If Team America is successful, Shan, you'll have bought yourselves time to summon the X-Men. Then, if Viper betrays us, they'll be best equipped to deal with her. At the moment, Team America's need is paramount. I must give them priority, lest the random use of their power brings more harm to innocence. So, um, and so here we are at the last page here, and Bobby goes, "What of the fancy speech you made to us, asking us to stay in your school, to trust you? Then you put her life in your hands. Is this how you repay her?" And Xavier says, "I do what is necessary, Roberto. It is not the first time nor the last, and it is never easy. And whatever the consequences, I will have to live with them. At least you will be alive, Professor. Danny may not be so lucky," says Bobby. "My thanks, though, for showing us where we stand and how little our lives truly mean to you." And Karma's like, "Roberto, how dare you address the professor in such a manner?" And Bobby's like, "Should I keep silent, Shan, or lie? If I believe him wrong and say nothing, where then is my honor?" And Karma says, "He does what he thinks best, and so must we. If we wait for Team America or the X-Men, we will be too late. We are Danny's best home, my friends, and we will save her, with or without the professor's aid." And so now we get Xavier here. How brave they are, how ready to rush headlong into the abyss, in blissful ignorance of the perils awaiting them. I have seen two X-Men die. I wanted to spare the New Mutants from the grim reality, but that is impossible now. I will do my best for them and Team America and pray that if any life must be sacrificed in this venture, then let it be mine. Next, Road Warriors. So, hope you enjoyed this. New Mutants number 5, written by Chris Claremont, penciled by Sal Buscema, and inks by Bob McLeod. Like and subscribe. I do thank you for listening. Goodbye.